Oh my gosh. It's that time. Let's go. Let's get started. Where is it? Hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It is so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is January 6th, 2025. We're gonna write a little bit of code today. How you doing there, chat room? Let's welcome in the chat. They're right over here. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. I forgot to open YouTube over here on the other screen. Hang on, let me get that. Let me get that open over here. There we go. So, just in case I need to do any moderation or anything over there on YouTube, so good to see you. Welcome back. Let me run down the list here and say hello. C Sharp Titan, hello. Good evening to you in Melbourne. Minoj, good morning. Yes, the domain expired, and I'm restarting it right now. Thank you for catching that. I don't know why I didn't see that email come through. Over the holiday break, the C Sharp in the cards domain expired. I'm reactivating it right now, and we'll finish that up after I greet everybody here. The stream category should be on. Yep, it is on. Hey, Thindall. Hello. Good morning. Robson Previato. How's it going there? Codebase Alpha, good afternoon to you. I'm doing pretty well from the cold. I've got just a little bit left here. But, yeah, I'm feeling much better. So, yeah, I need to reactivate the C Sharp in the cards domain. So I did the reactivate over here on my domain provider, but they wiped out all of my domain records. So I need to go rebuild the whole thing. So that's only slightly annoying. But hey, that's fine. That's fine. I'll rebuild a bit of this over here. But I've got to set up the redirect domain. What an annoying bit here. I suppose we can talk through and show a little bit of that before we dive back into SharpSite. Give me 1 second here to get. That's not it. There we go. C Sharp in the cards website. I need to bring that up on the Azure portal. And where is it? Custom domains. Ta-da. Yeah, I need to redo the domain verification. How annoying. Do I have to remove them and re-add them, I guess? Yeah, I think so. Let's see how much we can do of this on screen here and go through that. Well, I'm going to get some music playing in the background here. Let's go with the Stream Beats EDM playlist, because this is, we'll start here. This is called Easy Peasy. There it is. I don't need to describe this. You know what this is. So, here's my problem. The domain expired, but the domain bindings are still out here and active. However, I don't have the records sitting over in the DNS. So I believe I need to delete both of these. It won't let me delete both at the same time. Fine. We'll delete one after the other. There we go. And then we'll go re-add them. Yep, it's a managed certificate, sure. No, it's another domain service, and we're going to call this C# in the cards.com. And there's an ID there that I can't show on screen. Well, we're not going to be showing that part on screen, I guess. I need to create an anchor record and build that over here. It's not a redirect. Oh no, those records are over there. That value is there. I need the text record. Yeah, that's there. Cool. So I think I can get this going. Hey there, Eric. Good to see you. Chaotic Monkey, good morning. Have I ever used Post Sharp plus MetaLlama for AOP? No, I haven't. Where can I learn more about that? Where can I learn more? And I'm also going to add C# in the cards.com. Yep. And so I think I need to wait for DNS to propagate. Is that what I'm running into here? I think that's what I'm running into. Yeah, that's right. That's the correct location. There it is. What happened here? It's like the site isn't reloading all the way. No, I can't change that because I can't show it because there's keys that I can't show on screen so that nobody grabs the key and hijacks my domain on us. For some reason, it's not showing the entire page. It's like there's a bad CSS record or something here. Right? Yeah, there's some bad JSON coming down through the Blazor Web.js content. What the heck is that? I've never seen this before. And if I'm having this issue, other folks are going to have this issue as well. No, it's not downloading Blazor.js properly. Yeah. Do I need to restart my website? Is that what's going on here? Is the new hat command online? It is. Yes. You can use Carex. You can use the full URL there. It's okay. Works fine for you in Safari. Yeah, it's like, let me just restart the site. Like, yeah, for some reason, there's bits and pieces of the site that just are not loading. Like CSS, this JavaScript. No. That works. Got to be something cached. Got to be something cached. No. No. Works fine on all your devices. I'm certainly confused. Let me get back to you on that, Eric. Give me just a second. But no, I did not hear about that. That's no. Um, and I'm not getting a 400 on anything. Wow. Like the content's there. It's loading. Works fine in Edge. I'm gonna come back to it. That's weird. I'll come back to it later and take a look. So there was a question about using MetaLlama and PostSharp for ahead of time programming. I'm sorry, aspect oriented programming, AOP. I have not used this type of approach. No. I don't know. What do you think? For me, demonstrating and showing a different style of programming like this, it moves away from the basics and getting folks on board and programming with .NET using Visual Studio, the way that the products arrive. So for the type of programming that I do here on stream, this moves a little bit further away from, dare I say, my charter, where I'm trying to introduce folks to C# and get them started. There's nothing wrong with this type of approach. Aspect-oriented programming is something folks have been doing for years and years. It's not my cup of tea because I want to make sure that folks can get into and get started with C# and web development in the case today. So, but yes, the new hat command is out there. We can try that real quick. There it is. So it's going to take a picture of my hat, and you're going to see a message pop up in chat from the bot that'll tell you all about it. Hey, Kinemaster. Hello. There it is. It's my Xbox gamer hat. Power your dreams with Xbox. That's the new. That's the new OpenAI powered hat detection that you can see and use there live in stream. I also recorded a video talking through exactly what we built there. So if you don't want to watch the entire stream from last time or the last few times, you can check out the video where I describe it right here, and I go through and I show some of the evolution of how we built this. So it was a lot of fun. Please check it out, share it with your friends. We had a good time building this, and yeah, I'd like to get a few more views on that. So I did publish it over the weekend, and I know that's kind of a no-no for our type of content that appears over on YouTube. So I have a couple more videos queued up that I'm going to be recording. Hello, Weirdbeard Dev.
Weirdbeard Dev just resubscribed for 8 months. Woot.
Thank
8
you
months
so
of
much.
coding and fun.
Yeah. Really appreciate the support. Did I make the source code available? Yes, I did, actually. Let me go back to it. I didn't. So the source code that's embedded and in the bot that you see there on stream, you can find in my GitHub repository under fritz.streamtools. This prototype you can download here on a gist on GitHub, where I narrowed it down to just the code you need to run that sample and that system prompt. Okay. So just the code that I showed there live on stream is right here. You can click through to it and check that out.
Josh
Tinker with it and play with it.
for 59 months.
C# Josh, thank you for the resub. Looks like we've got a hype train starting. We're on the level 1 hype train. 4.5 minutes. Thank you so much for the support. So you're welcome to check this out, download it, tweak it. I even go through and show how I set up the Azure OpenAI configuration here, and I talk through exactly which elements and API keys that you need from here, because it is not clear from the documentation as of right now, here on January 6, 2025. I'm going to be having some conversations with folks later today to see what we can do to improve that a little bit, make it a little bit easier. So, yep, all the source code is available. You're welcome to download, tweak, tune it. There's nothing highly innovative here, but I want to do more with this. I had somebody on LinkedIn. I put a post about this on I share all my content to LinkedIn and X and Blue Sky, but somebody replied to me. Let me bring this over here for a second. And they're like, "Oh, is this ethical? What you're doing?" And it literally felt like a bot was interviewing me about whether or not I've done this correctly. I'm like, what are you talking about? Here, this one. Analyzing hat imagery through OpenAI's lens raises intriguing questions about the nature of visual interpretation and its potential biases. Really? I mean, we're analyzing an image. The reliance on Azure and C# suggests a focus on efficiency and scalability. This screams that this is generated by an AI. What does this prioritize? Accuracy over nuanced understanding. I don't need understanding. It's an image. It's analyzing. Consider the recent controversy surrounding AI-generated art. How might your tool navigate similar ethical concerns? What? It's a tech demo that shows how to analyze images, not a product. It's reviewing content from my private hat collection. I'm a Microsoft employee working on Azure and C#, so I'm demoing my own products. Like, come on now. Really? And this reply just screams that it's another AI reply coming back. Like, thank you, C# Titan. So, how does Azure OpenAI cost for such a project? I linked that also from the video because folks ask exactly that question as well. It's right here, and I'm using the GPT 4.0 model. I don't have it provisioned, and I'm not using the real time. Here. So I think that's the one I'm using. So it's $2.50 per million tokens. Million tokens. So 45 seconds left on the hype train. So let me show you. Taking a picture every so often here on stream and then analyzing it is literally nothing. Like, here I am in my invoice period, and I've been taking pictures and whatnot every so often. I've taken maybe 50 pictures and sent them to be analyzed, and I'm at less than a penny American. So pricing's pretty good. So I feel pretty good about that interaction and how much it's going to cost going forward to work with that here on stream. So, but Carix, if I had folks hitting that AI endpoint every few seconds, all day, every day, yeah, it would start to cost me. But it's going to be at most every 5 minutes on stream for a couple hours a day. Fine. Yeah, it's definitely a bot. The language choice is very bizarre. So, did I get any flack? Today's my first day back at work, so we'll see. So, hey, go Penn State. That's right, Eric. Thursday is when that happens. So, AI haters are not worth losing time on their comments. Totally agree. Totally. Hey, how you doing there, Chris Jones? Joining today from YouTube. Okay. Your work laptop blocks Twitch. That's frustrating. All right. So we were diving back into SharpSite. There's a pull request that was sent over here by DGen1 to add a language code to post in page models. The idea here was we've started down this path of providing translated content for the various menus and interactions that are standard part of the framework that get delivered with SharpSite, the content management system that we're building here live on stream. Let me add a project command on Twitch for that. There's already a link in the description below if you're watching on YouTube. And we are adding file system support to SharpSite. And there's the GitHub link. And on Twitch, I'll pin the message. There we go. All right. So if we have localization, we have language selection for the rest of the pages where you're maintaining and you're working on the site. We should probably have a language code on the post and page models so that when you write a page or you generate a post, we attach an appropriate language code to the HTML for that page, so that if somebody browses to that page that isn't reading, isn't expecting the language that you're publishing in, they get that notification and the browser can kick in and offer some translation resources. So, pretty good idea to get started here. Adds a lang property to the elements wrapping posts and pages. This is what dgen1 gives us here. Use the select element for the language code input. Not sure if it's better than a basic text field. No, it's probably better. Manually added comments to the migration to make existing posts and pages get EN language code. Is this okay, or should a field be left blank? And this is to address 187. Posts and pages should carry a language property. Liliana!
Lilianaka Triona just resubscribed for 37 months. Happy subiversary Fritz ZZZZZ. Wait, that doesn't work quite as well.
No, it doesn't. How you doing, Lily? Thank you so much for the resub. 37 months with us. More than 3 years. My gosh. Thank you for that support. Really appreciate it. So I'm this I wasn't looking at doing until the next milestone. So I'm going to just take a quick look at this. But I think we're going to park this for just a little bit and then we'll bring it in. So it adds to the page object a language. Max length of 11. Why 11? Language code is standardized on 2 characters. So page, the post object, all our pages and posts are defined abstractly so that we can have a separate version that gets saved to the database. Hey, Surly Dev, hello. And then here's the update for adding those fields. And here's the migration, and added an update statement. Okay. I think that's okay. That's fine on the snapshot. Okay. I think we could have gotten away with it. Yeah, no, it set a default there. No matter. So, and on the conversions, good. Edit page. Clean this up a little bit, it looks like. There's the language code with a language select. I see you created a language select component. Okay. There's edit post. Simplifying the title a little bit there. Cool. And I'm looking for, yeah, this is just a bit of reformatting. That's fine. There's the language select component again. Okay. Save post. Flush cache. Yeah, that's fine. And here's the language select component. Language label. So we need to add another localized bit there. Yep. Language. And added the Finnish version. Thank you. Appreciate you adding that one. Oh, display page. And putting a lang parameter there. Right, see the language parameter. I think ads just kicked in for the next 2 minutes. it'd be nice to be able to push that language parameter up to the top. This looks really good. Let's queue it up for adding after the current milestone. So, does ENUS count? In that case, it might be more than 2. So the language dash region identifier, that is not the syntax we're using. We're using the straight language. So EN, FI, ES, DE, those language two character identifiers. I forget which ISO it is. If I look in the online browsing platform, that the ISO, is that who it was, or was it the IEEE? The ISO online browsing platform, the International Standards Organization's online browsing platform. You might know it as the World Wide Web. They define it as 2 character names. Where'd it go? ISO online browsing platform. Have you ever heard this, Lily? Here it is. The online browsing platform allows users access to up-to-date content. Really? What, you can't just call it a website like everybody else? Or a wiki? Or documentation website? No, it's an online browsing platform. For a standards organization, you certainly have a non-standard name for your website. Right. Steve
_ Elliott just resubscribed for 54 months.
How you doing there? Thank you so much for that support. 54 months. It's a freaking website. Right. No, it's the online browsing platform. Whatever. Okay. Sure. So, we've had fun with that nickname. I know. Here's the standards organization with a non-standard name. We've been building this plugin capability for SharpSite so that more than just a simple website that you can create posts and pages, we want to be able to plug in features so that we can have folks from different levels of expertise. Rar indeed, yes. So we can have folks with different levels of expertise be able to customize their website. And we've purposely not customized the default website yet because we wanted to get this plug-in mechanism in place so we can start to enable folks to be able to build additional pieces that can be added into SharpSite and allow it to start to grow independent of the development that I or anybody of the core team that works on SharpSite is building. So in developing and working through a little bit of the features for plugins, we need to start allocating and defining how those pieces come together. And we've already put together a simple theme capability. We need to do more work on that so that it can handle more complex theming. But importantly, there's other architectural style plugins, like the first one that we're working on here for a file system plugin that is driving a little bit more of the configuration and capabilities that we need to provide with our plugin system. So in making the decision to not just provide a default, here's where you save things on disk, when you want to add an image into a blog post, upload and place a sound clip on a page, these types of things, we're we're making this a plugin so that folks can swap in different implementations appropriately, right? And building those plugins is something that a more advanced SharpSite user would want to do. So that's where we are today. We're working on a file system plugin, and I believe, do I already have it open here? No. I want this one. Oh, it's going to open another. You can never have too many Visual Studios open, right? So we went down this path of starting to build with the plugin manager, the ability to load up and make plugin configuration visible on screen. So that's where we're going to jump back in here today, is the ability to generate a configuration user interface based on the unknown and dynamic content of a configuration section that comes from those plugins. Let me catch up on chat here. Eric says, is there a nuance to the meaning between the wording for plugin versus add-in? No nuance at all. Plugin, add-in, I think for SharpSite means the same thing. It's an add-in, it's an extension that enables extra features that weren't initially delivered with the platform. So I agree with you, Eric. Yeah. Visual Studio, use IntelliJ. No, Luther Crow. Are you kidding me? So we defined this initial, very naive implementation of working with the file system. And it's not bad. We still don't have it actually working because we haven't been able to configure and get it loaded up and connected and running completely here on the site. Hey, Dr. Cox. Hello. So where we left off, we were building this configuration user interface so that it would allow us to configure and lead us into the next steps where we can actually start uploading files, images, video, what have you, to attach to the website. And this file provider is one of these base architectural plugins that is going to have components that look for it built into the default framework, right? So setting up and connecting a file API so that we can serve files is looking for something called iHandle file storage, right? And we know that, of course, we're going to want to be able to save files locally, but there's other places you may want to save files also. And those other implementations will be connected and allowed to flow through here. So that's where we're going with this. We were working on that page here, the config user interface. Let me show you what we've got at this point. And then we'll step in further. So this is going to be a shorter stream today. Now that I'm back to work. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I'm going to try to do a shorter stream, but still stream in the mornings here. And we'll be on for maybe 2 hours first thing in the morning here. So I'm going to wrap up in about an hour. And there we go. Everything's loaded and running. Seems good? Fantastic. So here's our first problem. Cannot instantiate implementation type iHandle file storage. So it doesn't have file storage configured. That's, hang on, show me that message again. Cannot instantiate implementation type. That looks like the registration is backwards. Load plugins at startup. That looks like the registration is backwards. So it's loading the DLLs, opening it. Okay, that loads a plugin. Get the plugin assembly, add the assembly. Register with service locator. This is wrong. So it gets the plugin attribute. This right here is wrong. It's backwards. The service descriptor. Yeah, these are backwards. You come over here. Right, because we need to register for this interface type, we are this concrete type. And only one instantiate because it doesn't want to. I will make you. What if a plugin has multiple plugin attributes? Not there yet. Good question. Something we need to figure out in design. So, right? I don't suppose it would be terrible to register multiples. I think there was a for loop there to register. Unable to resolve service for type file system configuration section while attempting to activate. Okay, so here's another piece. Once we have it registered, we need to have. So this is inside. It doesn't. Here's the challenge. That configuration section is sitting in application state. Here. So when the service provider starts up, he doesn't know where to go get it. Huh. Thinking. So when we register at startup, right? Clean up, validate, dispose. So to the question of what happens if there's multiple plugin attributes, it's a for. So it would register each one of the attributes. Does it need the bang when the return type is T? Yes, because it might not. Well, didn't need that one, but the service provider up here says it's not null. This one, yeah. Because if there's no service found, it could be null. I could have it throw an exception if it doesn't get get a service, right? And then I'd have to handle that downstream. So for right now, indicating you might get a null coming back is okay. In my mind, we can do something about that later. I could register the configuration section with the service provider up here. Nalian!
Nalian just resubscribed for 20 months.
Is it Nalian or Nalian? I don't know. So what right, so if I right, I could do here. The configuration section, I actually want that type. Right, I actually want and instance, yes. Oh, wait a sec. Yeah. So that type, that instance. Yeah. I think that works. Let's see what we get. Because part of me is thinking that there's a reference issue that's going to happen there. Unable to resolve service for type I plugin manager. Okay. Let's look at that message again. So file system storage. Why do I need plugin manager? That's not being used. Oh. Okay. But so I need to register itself with the plugin manager. Okay. But if I go to register itself, then I'm also going to need... No, I don't, because I can register it as a singleton, right? Right? Right, so I could do add singleton. Oh shoot, this is... Can't do that here. Static method, right? I need to do this at creation time. No, 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 no. No, no. Add singleton. This. So now it should have a reference so that it knows how to build plugins and give them references back to the running plugin manager. Because there should be only one plugin manager running. The body was inferred, but the method does not allow. What? What is this referencing? Huh? Is it in the map file? It's got to be in the map file API. Right? Yeah, see, it's a singleton up here. So we're getting it. Load the plugins. Go back to the file API. Is it that? It is, and it doesn't know where to get it because it isn't in the primary. It isn't in the main service locator. So it doesn't know how to look that up. So I've got two service locators. Do you see my problem here, chat? Do I really need the child service locator? Yeah. Hey, Eddie Dre. Hello. Um, do I need this? Then it's just hanging out there as a reference the whole time. Um, right, or do I get one here? No, it's not going to be because I handled that up top. Yeah, I think we're okay with that. Yep. Happy Monday to you, Eddie. How's it going? Here we go. Let's see what we got. All right. Got it working again. That's something. And here's my file system storage extension that we need to configure here. Back in the office today, that's where I'm going to be in about a half hour, 45 minutes. Is similarly just getting caught up. But clicking into this, we know this isn't working properly just yet. And that's our next place to jump in. Before I go any further, let's save those fixes that I just put in. Yep, we're good to commit just the changes that are there. Fixed missing plugin information on start. Now, I also know that I've now created a scenario where if there isn't a file system plugin registered, it's not going to work. Like, I think I've also kind of created that problem. So if we look at our list of registered plugins, right? So here's our plugins folder. Inside the application state, which I don't want to ship, right? It actually doesn't have anything for the plugin listed here, but it does have the plugin written down on disk here. So if I don't have it installed, let's uninstall it. That. And there's the file system plugin, delete that. And the goal here is that it still works, but at some point we want to block features that, oh, we don't have this configured yet. And it's not loaded. Cool. So we've appropriately blocked that type of missing plugin, right? And this comes back to this idea that we've started floating of optional plugins, which are more like add-ons, and system architecture plugins, system plugins that define the system behavior that are kind of required. Like, we're going to need database plugins, and I've already got the start of one with the Postgres libraries that I've got written on here. We're gonna end up refactoring those into a plugin. But I've also got this one for the file system, right? And getting that file system to load and run properly. And now file system storage is available, and here's where we need to do our configuration. So all of that so far looks good. This doesn't look good. Let's fix this. Right? I hope it's getting to be fancy. We're getting there. So what this is erroring out on, field identifier only supports simple member accessors, fields and properties of an object. So what's going on here, we're trying to set up a simple reflection-based plugin configuration API. User interface, not API, UI. And it's not working quite right. and I think it's on the validation message. If we can't comment that out. Okay, sure. Restart that, John. Like, we're defining our own kind of reflection-based loading of these things. Hey, John. Where did I get the CMS code? We built it. We've been building this. There we go. Okay. Not perfect. But it loads. Now we can start tuning this. So, yeah, John, all the source code is linked down below. There's in the description there. Yeah, there's a link to the source code for this project that we're working on. And we're continuing to grow and tune and learn more about some of the auxiliary technologies that we're using as part of this. So ads on Twitch are done in about 10 seconds here, and we'll have everybody come on back in. Happy New Year's to you, John. Thank you so much. So section name isn't something that we want to show on this user interface. That's clearly one that should be ignored, right? That users, admins aren't allowed to configure. So, right, if prop dot name, what was it? Section name. Yeah. We're not going to do anything with that one. And we could turn this then into an else if. Ugh. No. That's better. Save that. We should. Is it going to hot reload it for me? Are you going to hot reload it for me? Yeah. Okay. So base folder name. So we need to place a value in this text box. All right. So if I do an initial value equals, so this is a property info. So we need to do a reflection now to load up the content. How's it going there, Mythin? Hello. Right, can I do, yeah, prop get value. And we're going to get it from the actual object, which is, right, configuration section. Is that, yes. Okay. So now we've got something that'll do reflection and load up this content. I would really prefer, I can do bind get, bind set to manage that easier. You're right. You're right. And I forget about features like that, Xbox, because and I've got your hat on here today. Because, right, I'm so used to some of these other syntaxes. Syntaxes? I think that's sure. We still have to figure out how to do validation message. Okay. So instead of doing on change here, right? Let's do the bind get. Binds a provided expression. Yeah. Right, so when we're attempting to get it, we want this. Oh, I need to do, wait, what? Bind dash value. Think. Yep, we're about to do that one. And I think I want this. Bind value set. Now, what does this look like? You don't like that, do you? Go back. Over here. Right? That is a hideous syntax. You don't think form group is a class in Bootstrap 5? If I change that back to just bind get, that's what I thought it was. It doesn't like that because it wants a change event args. And I'm trying to right, if I do try to do this, yeah, that's not going to work. Right, because I want to pass in extra information. Let's go look that up real quick. Laser. Let's just take a look. No. Finding a property with it. Yeah, that works just fine. Give me no. Specifies a callback for when the value changes. Right, and I want to add an extra. Yeah, I want to add an extra thing. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. earlier in the article. Bind. So that's binding to a property and then doing different things on set. Right, so what that was looking like was that I could do something like this. No. Ugh. So that syntax looks right. Why is that still? No. So that's the object that it's passing. If I change down here, change this to object. Like, I know that's not the right syntax, and it likes that now. Like, I think that's the value that it's trying to set. Right? No, it doesn't like that either. What the heck is the argument that it's passing in? It's an object. Huh? Huh? No, it's not change event args. Where did that come from? Where'd it go? Oh, I lost that browser now. Blazor line set. Yeah, it's a value. Right? And the set and set async are values that it's receiving. It's not change event args. The event args are gone because we're binding to the set method. So yeah, let's restart this. I suspect we fell into some reflection trap there. All right. Admin over here. System object does not have an associated type converter. I can't zoom. Line 32. No. Is this error related to bind set? Yes. Very much so. Give me 1 second. I'll answer your question there, Sarakai. Sarakai? Is that how you pronounce that? Nope, that didn't work either. In fact, gosh, that feels even worse. What happened there? Yeah, this is bind get without a bind set. Yeah. I want to go back to the way that I had this. Because that works. So, cool. Let me go to your question. What do I think is the best way to have a web app and mobile apps with basically the same code base? Thought about using ASP.NET Core. Let me come back over here so we can see the question. So building a web app and mobile app with basically the same code base. Thought about using ASP.NET Core Web API as a backend and React Native to do the job. Do I know a better way, maybe with Maui? I'm a beginner and don't know what I should use. You can absolutely do React and React Native to deliver that. That approach absolutely does work. You can use, if you want to get into .NET MAUI, you can use .NET MAUI with the hybrid capabilities where it embeds a web view, and you can still bring your React code into the web view and use that to work with the web API, and have then the exact same code shared between your MAUI web view and your web application. You can do that. You can also do a Blazor application and share that same code between those the .NET MAUI hybrid application and your web application. Number of different options there. It's up to you what you feel comfortable with. If you're already familiar with React, then you can share React and do a React Native app. But that same React code, we've seen folks demo this, works just fine embedded inside of a Blazor MAUI hybrid application. So it's literally just copy over. You can even share the folders between projects in Visual Studio, and it will allow you to package and deploy that React application inside your .NET MAUI application. And if you take that approach with .NET MAUI instead of React Native, you'll be able to build and deploy then not just for iOS and Android, but also for Windows and Mac OS. So gives you a few more options to work with without having to add a ton of different configuration. So it's up to you. Depends on your needs, but we've seen a number of folks with great success using the Blazor hybrid approach with .NET MAUI. Let me jump back over here to the code. I've got about a half hour left. So this is binding properly. But I want to make sure that actually doing that modification and getting it to save is going to work properly. So let's put something there, and let's call this, I don't know, foo. I don't care. So it's going to go get the property name, base folder name. That's correct. And it's going to attempt to set the value. Now, Yeah, that is a change event args, and it does have the value, so it's going to attempt to set that on that property. Is it? So if I try and do a save here, does it have it? So there's my breakpoint. So here's the configuration section. Let's just peek into there. And it did save it properly. The base folder name is properly in there. And it should attempt to save that value. So if I go back over here into my plugins configuration, we take a look at application state. It did not save this. It saved it. We've got new content in here. But it's not updated. Okay. So that clearly works, but it's not doing all the things here. How you doing there, Terminal Logic? Building an app using .NET malware for Windows and Mac OS. Am I able to develop using Visual Studio? Do I have to have Visual Studio Code now in order to push it to a Mac? You don't need Visual Studio Code. You need a Mac. By Apple's development requirements. In order to build applications that run on the Apple ecosystem, you need a Macintosh. You need to either work on a Macintosh or you need to have one somewhere on your network. And Visual Studio knows how to connect over and trigger the builds over there. So, awesome. Yep. So you don't need Visual Studio Code to push it to a Mac. You'll be okay. You can run completely on your Windows machine and then just use the Mac as kind of a build agent to help you there. You're gonna look into Mali Hybrid? Cool. For Windows and Mac OS, yes. Is there an option to create a Linux version? No. No, there is no. Their .NET MAUI does not support building and deploying to Linux. It's something that was opened up for the community to be able to build and develop those bindings. And there was a small effort that was started on that, and I don't think it's really progressed anywhere. So the idea being, hey, let's partner with the Linux community and let the Linux community build these features, and it didn't get picked up and by the Linux community. So, JSON serializer. I think we need to pass in a few more options here, but it didn't have the state. It didn't have the new configuration section set up properly in there. Electron is definitely a direction you can go with that. Absolutely. I don't want to type info. Yeah, the options. New JSON serializer options. So that'll give me the base default web version. If I just say, right, if I just say web, it'll use kind of a base set of defaults. But something happened. It added the configuration section. Here. But it didn't look like it actually persisted that. Yeah. Yeah. And this should also have JSON serializer options, web. That's the default culture and the supported cultures. Yeah. Configuration sections. Come on now, suggest this. But we added it. Is it because it's in internal? Like if I make this public and I really don't want to, will it? Yeah, fine, restart. Sad to hear. It's one of those checkbox things. Does this support that? No. Okay, well, I can't use that. Well, did you actually want to do that thing? No. But because it doesn't have that feature, I can't use it. Well, you're not going to use that feature. It's a checkbox. So let's say foo. And there we go. It still saved these null records. I'd like them to be ignored. Configuration sections. There's file storage. Configuration empty. Also, it doesn't have right. It doesn't have the values here. Yeah, Avalonia is another good library that you can recommend folks check out. But that's moving you away from building with the web. Avalonia is more, you're going to build with XAML and it works everywhere. So if I go back to the file system configuration section, right? So it has this, but it didn't try to serialize that. Why? Do I even need this? I don't think I do. Yeah, I'm still working here. Yeah, I don't think I need that. And it should serialize that. Let's see what we got. Loading here. Deserialization of interface or abstract types. get rid of that for right now. Try that again. Hey, Grego Waffles. Doing well? Good to see you. And load that up. Here we go. Over here. Okay. So if we go back in here and this, and if we change this to foo, I need to put some sort of an indicator here that it's saved properly. And there's the section, right? But it didn't actually... And I probably want to put a JSON ignore on this thing. No. Nah, it doesn't matter. Why didn't it take this one? You know what it is? It's because it's an SharpSite configuration section. It doesn't have that value. Right? This isn't a thing in that interface. So, where'd it go? If we restart the website, right? So I'll stop the website, restart it. I'll come to your question in just a second here. There it is. Deserialization of an interface or abstract type is not supported. Fun. So for serialization of these, we need to push them into some sort of a format that we can persist to disk. Let me come back to this. Let me go to these questions that just came in. Mythin asks, do I have any tips when it comes to making a domain point to an Azure container app inside a container environment? You looked at the docs, but I think it's a bit confusing. Should the environment get updated with the domain, or should the container app itself get updated, or just better to use Azure DNS and work from there? I can show you what I have for Aspirify. Nope, not that one. So there's several ways to do it. So this is aspirify.net. And I just have a custom domain in here configured and pointed to it. The other way that you could do it is to set up Azure Front Door and have it point to the container app. This is running inside of, right? Of course, this is running inside of a container apps environment that was built and managed for me by .NET Aspire. But I've gone and done the custom domain over here so that it builds and manages and uses that domain. So nothing to it. I mean, literally just jump in here and add the domain names and you're done. This will automatically load balance and route appropriately between your replicas of that container. So there's my active revision. There are 2 replicas running right now, and it will route appropriately between those 2 replicas. So and you'll get that content, right? And if I refresh, it's pulling it right. The output cache, I guess, was not. No, it was loaded. 1334. That was a little bit ago. But the site's running and should respond usually a bit faster than that. So there you go. And lots of new content that I've been adding to Aspirify. There's more to do on Aspirify. We need to come back and convert some of the containers that are there to function apps. And it'll run a little bit nicer. Robson asks, what's the difference between display name attribute and display attribute? Identity templates come with display attribute. Display attribute controls the format of that field. Display name helps to give a name so that you can create a label for it. And it'll generate that label appropriately. Need to tell the serializer to include the type. So if we do, well, it didn't include it in the serializer, so we need to include it. So, which means I need to do a little bit more there. New JSON serializer options, right? And what do we got here? No. Let's see. No. Come on now. All right. Ignore no. What was it for the type? Type name handling? I don't see type name handling. That's in JSON serializer settings, not options. That's for Newtonsoft, yeah. There is, I thought there was a way to include it. Is it reference handler? No. Gets or sets an object, specifies how object references are handled. Type info resolver. Sure, right indented true. Let's make sure we get that one. No. Literally an Aspire app? Yeah. Am I using a Postgres container? No, I'm using the Postgres service, Mythin. Yep, 2024 copyright. That's right. Yeah. Next time I do a deployment, I'll add a 2024-2025. Yeah, system text JSON. I need to figure out. Type name handling is not supported. Oh, really? Not supported by design. Womp womp. It adds type name metadata to the JSON while serializing. It uses the metadata while deserializing to do polymorphic deserialization. System text JSON relies on type discriminator information to perform polymorphic deserialization. The metadata is emitted in the JSON and then used during deserialization to determine whether to deserialize to the base type or a derived type. Yeah. When placed on a type declaration, indicates the specified subtype should be opted into polymorphic deserialization. Ugh. No. I don't want to require folks who build with this to use that. You must specify a type discriminator for the derived class. What? And it's including that block of text. Ugh. I don't want to include, right? This means type discriminator property name. Handle unknown derived types. You must opt in to support using an annotation. Yeah. Since it does not explicitly opt in support for 4-dimensional point, attempting to serialize will result in a runtime exception. Right. You can change the default by using the JSON unknown derived type handling enum. Fallback to base type. You can use the fallback to nearest ancestor setting to fall back to the contract of the nearest declared derived type. In this case, it'll be serialized as base point. Possibility of diamond ambiguity. this is one of these situations where they've overthought the problem. They've overthought the problem a little bit. Yeah. It's kind of confusing. I think rolling over to Newtonsoft for this serialization is fine by me. For this serialization, and saving inside application state, I'm okay with saying just use Newtonsoft. That does have this fixed. Fixed might be the wrong word. Right? Newtonsoft JSON. So now it's not JSON serializer. What do they call it in Newtonsoft JSON? JSON. I think that's right. It wants a JSON reader. Yeah, there's a when writing null to tell it to automatically ignore those things. It's in the configuration options. Is that it? No. Figure this out for me. Use Newtonsoft JSON to do that. Thank you. Look at that. JSON serializer options ignore values. Set default ignore condition to. Sure, do that. No. Okay, that looks legit. Right, and now I need, what was the type? What was it we were saying for the excuse me, type name handling? It's not there. It's not there. No, that's. Oh. It used the wrong one. Is it JSON converter, somebody was saying? Oh, come on now. No. Newtonsoft, JSON. I use that one, right? Mm-mm. No. I need to create a new one. Is that right? No. It wants a reader. And there's one overload. Yeah, it wants a reader to be passed in. Newtonsoft JSON convert. There's deserialize object. Yeah, that's what I want. But can I pass in? I can pass in settings. Yeah. Why doesn't it like that? Come on now. JSON serializer settings. Really? JSON serializer settings. I can get rid of this. Right, and then one of these. Type name handling auto. Yeah, the AI is just completely missing it. Advisory dude, I had exactly that type of thing happen almost 20 years ago now. And it was dreadful. So, yep. So now I want to take that and replace this one, but instead it's serialize object. Right, and we don't have a type that we're specifying. It's the object, which is this, right? Should work. And then we'll wrap this up and we'll call it a day here. And I'll get on back to work. I'm going to get rid of system text in here so that it's using the new one, the Newtonsoft JSON version. Right. Because it didn't write the configuration into it. So I'm just going to eliminate that for right now. Reload. Let's see what we get. So far, so good. There it is. Change this. Save. No apparent error. There we go. Configuration sections. File system storage. There's the type. Right? There's the section name. And it even has the base folder name on there. So, good. Right? That's what we were looking for. So now it'll be able to serialize, deserialize. And it also pulled in... I thought I got rid of that. Yeah. Where did that come from? Rebuild and make sure we get it. Yeah, Newtonsoft saving the day. Rebuild, reload, rerun. And it should load that properly now. Right? And it does have the base folder name that I specified, so when I go into my file system settings, it should have that foo saved there, even though it's not what we're actually using. Error. Error resolving type specified. Could not load. Why couldn't you load that? You can't load it because it's... It can't load it. We're in an order of operations here. Application state is trying to initialize. Right there. So it's trying to load sections that don't exist yet because they haven't been loaded. Napalm.
Napalm Codes just resubscribed for 31 months.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. So now we're in a loop. We need the plugin manager to load the types. Before we can load state. Otherwise, the configuration section isn't there. Right, this load plugins at startup doesn't happen until way down here. So we need to figure out how to load those configuration sections earlier. Okay? I'm going to have to park this for right now. It's work in progress. Yep, you see it added Newtonsoft JSON into directories. Package, the shared package reference. That's fine. Added Newtonsoft JSON for serializing configuration sections. But for next time, the bug we need to address is the order of operations. So let's put a note here. Need to load configurations sections assemblies before loading state from disk. Or maybe there's a way to split that. Yeah. So that we load the JSON. We're not actually using the JSON yet. But maybe there's a final configuration after the plugins are loaded here. Because I don't think this uses application state in here. No. So after the plugins are loaded and we have the DLLs in memory, then we can go and finish deserializing the configuration. We're going to have to take a look at that next time. Let me wrap things up here. I see there's a couple questions, couple comments there in chat. Let me go to those real quick as I wrap up and end things here. Programming is an art, absolutely. Must be all and not auto. Well, it was... We'll see. Maybe. Continuing here, Penflinger with a question. Have I tried the Cursor IDE? I have not. And unfortunately, I can't try that here on stream. It's a competitor. So, I've heard good things about it. I've seen folks demonstrate it. I haven't tried it. And if I do try it, it would be off stream. I can't show it here. Like I said, it's a competitor. The folks that are watching this stream that I work with, they get very upset if I use a competitor's tool on stream. A competitor's tool, service, product. Upset isn't even, it is an understatement. There have been folks who have gotten, yeah, it's not something that I can do, but I can certainly try it off stream and share my thoughts. Like I said, I've seen some demonstrations, and it looks very impressive what they've done with Cursor. Oh, we're getting a hat check. There you go. So windsurf is the whiz-niz. Oh, is it? Okay. There you go. It's my Xbox gamer hat. Ta-da! All right. That's all the time that I have for today. It's Monday. It's time to get back to work. Let me see who else is streaming on the big Twitch TV network that I can get you connected to. If you're watching on YouTube, there's lots of great videos. You can find them over here or down here, depending on how you're connected in and watching. But today, I think we're going to get you rated over. Let's go over and join Anna Sastev. She's working on a custom game engine. So on Twitch, we're going to get you rated over to Anna. And I will see you tomorrow for our regularly scheduled Tuesday stream. All right? Have a fantastic day wherever you might be. I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.